Hey guys, thanks for coming out today. Hope everybody's doing well. So here we go, week 10, going out to Iowa City. Huge challenge. So much respect for what Coach Ferentz has done at Iowa over a long period of time, and really what they've done lately. I mean, if you look at their last 15 games, they're 12-3, and then you look at what they did in, what they've done over the last 4 years. In the month of November, they're 15-1, which is astounding. So we certainly, going into one of the toughest places to play in America against a team that's leading the Big Ten West, 7-2. We got a big challenge ahead of us, so it's right back at it every week in the Big Ten, and that's the way we like it. So we got a lot of work to do between now and Saturday, and then we'll go lay it on the line. Questions?
Just going off of that, with Iowa's defense, obviously they're one of the top ranked in the nation. I mean, what do they do so well that they're able to sustain that and play at that high level?
Yeah, they have a philosophy of how to play defense, and they stick to it. It's not that they don't tweak anything from time to time, but they know how they want to play. They train their people in their program. They're a developmental program as well, and they develop their players, and they develop them in a system, and they're a lot better at doing it when they're there 4 years than they are at 1 year, but they just keep getting better and better. Very much, what we try to do here. So they're very good at it. Coach Parker's been there for a long time, the defensive coordinator, and there's a reason they're good.
Made a lot of history here at Rutgers. Do you still relish the opportunity to make history, accomplish first? I ask because Rutgers has never beaten Iowa, never won at Iowa City. Do you relish the opportunity to maybe make history for this program?
Yeah, I don't really look at it as making history. I'm just trying to be 1-0 this week. And it happens to be that the team that we're trying to be 1-0 against, we've never beat. But at the end of the week, that's all we all want to do in our program is be 1-0 at the end of the week. And certainly a huge challenge. Like I said, I've been to Iowa City a few times to play, and it's a really tough place.
Coach, this is a Rutgers offense that is most improved in the Big Ten in terms of scoring offense and yardage. What role do you feel the offensive line's improvement plays into that?
Well, I think it's huge. I mean, if you just look at it in sheer numbers, offensive line makes up 5/11ths of your offensive football team. So if they get better, then a large portion of your offense gets better. But I think we're just kind of moving along. Like I've said to you all along, it's a developmental program. We're developing guys. Coach Shiraka's new. So some of the things that he came and presented when he got here were different for our guys, and they're getting better at it. We just have to go out and have a great week of practice. And we're beat up like everybody else, right? It's week 10 in the Big Ten, and you're beat up. But, it's a matter of who handles it best. And I know Iowa's got injuries. We got injuries. That's the way it is right now. You just got to go out there and play your best.
You see a lot of similarities between Rutgers and Iowa, the way you guys play defense and overall attitude and things like that.
Do I see a lot? Boy, I hope so. I have like I said, I have nothing but great respect for Coach Ferentz and the way that he's built his program over the last 25 years. And had we stayed, had I made the right decision and stayed here, it would be very similar, I think. But we didn't. We took a 9-year break, so we're playing catch up for sure. But I do have so much respect for how they play and what they do, and we're just we're in a spot where we're getting better slowly, and we just got to continue to do that. And will it be enough? We're going to find out here in whatever it is, 5 days, 6 days.
Kyle Manangi, guys obviously closing in or getting close to 1,000 yards. What message do you think that sends to kids in high school who maybe aren't highly recruited about what they can become at a high level program and in a major conference?
I think it shows that if you come and you love football and you're willing to pay a price, because it's not easy, it's really hard. But if you're willing to pay the price, that you can be successful and be successful at the highest level. And Kyle's demonstrated that. And, it's well chronicled that he was not the most highly recruited guy, but you know what? He's our kind of guy, and he's doing a great job. And I think the whole running back room's doing a great job.
Saturday, Isaiah Iton, 5 tackles, stepping in, seeing some more reps. What did you see from his performance and his development?
You know, he came from Ole Miss. They play a little different style. You know, they're more of a 2-gap, 3-4 team most of the time, at least on early downs. So it's been a transition for Isaiah for sure. He's getting better slowly, and we just keep progressing him. We play a lot of people, as you know, in the front, so we rotate. But, you know, playing single gap control defense is a lot different than playing 2-gap, and he's learning and getting better at it every week.
Coach, Kyle Manangi, 500-plus yard games. Each of the last 3 games, he's eclipsed that mark. Do you feel like he's getting better and being more effective as a rusher as the season goes on?
I do think he's getting better. I think the line's getting better, the tight ends are getting better, the receivers are getting better, the quarterback's getting better. So I think, you know, it's the old saying, right, all ships rise with the tide. And I think that Kyle is a big part of making that happen, but he's also part of being around other guys that are doing well. So, but we're not anywhere close to where we need to be, but we are getting better, and that's the key.
Gavin has the lowest completion percentage amongst FBS quarterbacks, qualified 200 dropbacks. Is his inaccuracy holding this offense back?
Is it holding it back? No, because I think Gavin does so much to help our offense. Does it have to get better? Absolutely, it has to get better. You know, completions come as a result of protection, correct routes, and then throwing and catching the football. So everybody contributes. But at the end of the day, it goes on whose record? The quarterback's. Like, he gets the completion percentage. The receivers don't, the line doesn't. So, and at the end of the day, we need to be more accurate with the ball, for sure. So we're working on it. But like everything else, we're developing, and I'm sure he's going to get better at it.
With Reggie Sutton, how is he, now that he's a few games back, I mean, how is he continuing to manage that workload? And I guess how do you balance that during the week of making sure that he's not doing too much that it's going to set him back at all?
Yeah, it's hard. You know, gratefully, the bye week came at a point where he played and then he got to have a week off. But there's no weeks off now. I mean, it's week after week. So we have to really do a good job, as you said, managing his workload. And he's got to communicate honestly with us, which he does. He's great with that. And we got to, you know, we got to find that happy medium between too much is no good, right? But you got to have enough so you're sharp and can go play at the level. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. But Reggie's a mature guy, and he's helping us with that.
We didn't get to ask you about Mayan Anahat's injury coming off the last game, so I just wanted to check in on that.
Yeah, you know, he was not available Saturday. I think he will be available this Saturday, which is good because he's a leader and a big part of our defense.
I know you were busy in the first quarter, but they made an announcement about NIL and the Knights of the Raritan on Saturday. How important has that become as part of your job and just kind of part of the progress and the development of the program, the NIL side of things?
Yeah, I mean, it's a game week right now, so I'm going to stick to Iowa, but it's a good question because I didn't see it, but I heard that there was one. It's paramount in what we're doing right now. I mean, that is where college football is, and you have to be able to be competitive in that landscape, and we have to be able to be competitive in that landscape, and it's not going to get less. It's going to only get more. We've had guys that have performed at a high level. Well, you know what? There's going to be people that are trying to get them off our team. That's the facts. And there's going to be guys that we're going to not only want to keep our own guys here, but we're going to want to go out and pursue. And we have to be able to do the things that Big Ten teams do to be competitive and to be able to eventually be champions. So every bit helps, but we need every bit.
Iowa's been in a lot of close, low-scoring games, just the design of how they play on both sides of the ball, the projected same thing to happen this Saturday. When you play in a game like that, is it something, does the margin of error increase even more because the crucial plays are so far and few between? Just how does low-scoring games, how do you view that?
Yeah, I mean, the margin of error in the Big Ten, period, is very small, right? The margin of error a couple days ago was about as small as it gets. So, yeah, but we're used to playing with that. That's the only way we play. The margin of error is like that. And when you're like a team like we are, where you're developing and building and growing, because we're still right in that phase where we're developing and growing, you know, you make some mistakes, you don't get it back. You know, I've said it always, there's no such thing as missed opportunities because someone always takes it. And in this case, if we don't take it, Iowa's going to take it. So, yeah, that's life in the Big Ten.
Final question. We talked a lot about Kyle Manangi. You've coached a lot of great running backs here in your career. Where does what he's doing this season rank amongst the greatest performances you've seen from a running back?
Yeah, I'm going to hold on, kind of comparing him to others because, he still has quite a bit of work left in this season. But I'm very pleased with the way Kyle has performed, the way he's worked. I'm equally as performed the way he leads off the field, the way he handles himself academically. I say it every week, this is an incredibly competitive academic institution. And Kyle serves as not only a great role model how to play football here, but also how to handle your academics. He's a great student and a guy that's going to be hugely successful in life. And, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, these guys are in the thick of it right now. On the back end of midterms, now all of a sudden the workload is so hard academically that I do get concerned because some days I stand in front of them here early in the morning and you can see they're tired. And it's something that we have to manage. So it's not only the Reggie Suttons of the world, but it's managing the whole workload of the team going into week 10 academically as well as the burden they put on their body. So I'm proud of the way they work. It's part of what you do when you come to Rutgers. But it's all well worth it. Thanks, guys.